How's it going, everyone? In this video I want to talk about a big Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island rumor that is going around, originating on Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt, but it's always interesting to go through this, and it has a lot of depth to the information and a lot of specific details, so I want to talk about it because it's a lot of stuff that I expected. However, information that is also pertinent and people want to know about it. And on top of that, Sony patent suggests PlayStation tournaments may be coming to PS5 with some improvements. We'll talk that in just a little bit. But first of all, an anonymous quality assurance tester posted a leak over on the Ghost of Tsushima subreddit and had a lot of information regarding the expansion. Now, bear in mind, this expansion is out next month, so this would be around the time that QA really gets undergoing. So the timing is actually perfect, but take it with a grain of salt as always, but a lot of the information has a lot of specificity to it. I believe that's the word. Most pertinent is probably the fact that the Iki Island expansion will add around 15 to 20 hours of new gameplay content with a well thought out plot that was as interesting and in many ways better than the main plot of the story. I thought the main plot of Ghost of Tsushima was excellent, but honestly speaking, if you really assess Ghost of Tsushima as a whole, the side content to that game was also incredibly compelling, so it wouldn't surprise me all too much if they've crafted a compelling narrative for the expansion as well. That makes all the sense in the world to me, so that would be pretty cool. But I do expect a solid story foundation here with this expansion. Iki Island is the size of Tsushima's island's bottom portion, and as far as content inclusion and new items, new heavy armor sets, new medium grade armor with bow and melee perks unlike anything else in the game and look totally different, new light grade armor with increased stealth and bow damage as well as 25% faster attack speed, hooded outfit resembling old ninja shows, torch mechanic used to complete a storyline cave mission, 3 new horse armors that can be colored, dozens of new charms, some of which can transform Jin's appearance to look like Lord Shimura and young Jin, new shrines, rainbows, new flute tunes, new enemies and Mongol types, a new fighting stance that mixes sword attacks with acrobatic kicks, upgrades for swords and bows, short bow now has a zoom feature upgrade, and also there was details about a volcano being in the game on top of that, so that's pretty cool as well. Now, if all of that content is coming into the game and you assess the expansion as a $20 expansion, that seems pretty darn good to me. Like, this is reminiscent to Witcher 3's Blood and Wine expansion. I thought the Blood and Wine expansion was pretty darn good. This might even be better than that, or let's say at the same level, because I thought Blood and Wine was pretty good, and let's wait for this to come out to really give a full assessment on it. But nevertheless, I would be pretty satisfied with a $20 purchase on this. The only real point of contention right now, as far as the content itself and the upgrade path, it's a little bit of a convoluted mess, and the fact of the matter is the PlayStation 5 upgrade, the Japanese lip syncing, the haptic feedback, that stuff essentially being an additional $10. It's however you want to slice it. Do you want to look at this expansion as a $30 upgrade, or do you want to look at the expansion as a $20 expansion and then the upgrade is $10 and get mad about the $10 expansion? I think that is a valid claim. That's why I personally believe if you wanted to just, avoid the headache altogether, why not just release the expansion at $25 on both platforms? And I know some of you guys were saying, but then you're screwing over PS4 consumers. Well, PS4 consumers wouldn't have known that, and that's what corporations do. They try to make the most money imaginable. They would have gotten the least amount of heat if they did it that way. The only other point you can make from my standpoint on that is that then you wouldn't be able to re-release, I guess, this director's cut edition for $70, but I'm sure you could figure something out and still get that director's cut out for, $60 or $70. Maybe you'd have to price it at $60. I'm sure they were hell-bent on getting that $70 price point. I just think, personally speaking, there was a better way to handle how they're doing the upgrade path, because first of all, it is a little bit convoluted. Like, yes, the people like me and you, the hardcores, we're gonna understand it, no problem, but honestly, somebody else is gonna look at that, they're gonna get a little confused. The casual consumer is gonna get confused, and then they're gonna be like, alright, I'm on to the next one. And I know you guys are gonna find that wild, but yes, a lot of casual consumers are gonna have a short attention span, and they're not even gonna want to figure out how the upgrade path is working. And I've had people ask me, anecdotally, where these people are obviously not like hardcore talking about video games on social media all day, where they were a bit confused about how the upgrade path is going. But I think it's going to do really well from a sales standpoint, and if we are getting all of this content, I think people are going to end up being pretty happy with it. And as far as Ghost of Tsushima goes, from a personal standpoint, like, I'm a shill for this game. Like, I thought this game was awesome, so I'm gonna buy it. Like, obviously, like, I thought Ghost of Tsushima was excellent. So when you're talking about a game at this high of a quality level, like, yeah, I'm gonna play this Iki expansion, and I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna probably really enjoy it, because more Ghost of Tsushima content is something I'm gonna get behind 100%. And this might just be the new MO going forward for Sony, where they have these big game releases and then they try to supplement these game releases with either DLC, single-player DLC, because let's be honest, Sony's main focus is single-player content, and standalone expansions, and then expansions on top of that. We saw Marvel Spider-Man get DLC with The City That Never Sleeps. We saw it get a standalone expansion on top of that with Miles Morales, and then you're talking about Uncharted 4 getting Uncharted Lost Legacy, and now Ghost of Tsushima getting this director's cut and this Iki Island expansion. I could easily see, like, next year or something like that, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart getting, like, some sort of expansion that adds new Rivet levels or something like that, expanding her character a little bit more, just, you know, hypothetically speaking, and I think it would do pretty well. But yeah, there you have it with that. That's as far as the rumor goes. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if you would be satisfied with a $20 or $30 purchase with that amount of content. 15 to 20 hours sounds pretty good to me. Also, moving on from that, a Sony patent is suggesting PlayStation tournaments may be coming to PS5, and on top of that, enhancing them a little bit. As noted on PlayStation Lifestyle, the patent suggests that the PS5 version would go a step further with these tournaments. Remember, these were on PS4, allowing players, developers, and other third parties to host their own tournaments for both individual players and teams at one end of the scale. People could set up small tournaments for their friends and families, but then you could also run far bigger tournaments where they would have their own rules attached to them. Would be interesting to see how far you could take the tournament archetype in consoles and really create an infrastructure where you can do tournaments easier in-house. Like, back in the day, you guys remember the game battles days? Those were wild, and people would get super into that. I still don't think tournaments are, you know, as easy to do on a console platform as they should be, and I understand that there's probably some regulations that Sony needs to think about, because they're going to be the ones responsible for these tournaments if they are opening the feature set to their large base of players that are on there. So that does make things a little bit dicey. When things are independent, they're a lot easier to do, like a game battles, for instance. But yeah, the idea of tournaments getting better on PlayStation 5 is definitely something that excites me, even though I'm not the biggest multiplayer guy these days anymore. I'll still play multiplayer games casually, and maybe one of these days I'll get back to my fighting game roots. Maybe not in the too near future, but maybe someday. But that's gonna wrap up this one. Again, Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island, some rumors coming out about that. Take it with a grain of salt for now, but all of the information seems pretty solid to me, and hopefully it is, you know, true, because 15 to 20 hours of gameplay, I think that would quell a lot of the upset people about the expansion, and that is a reasonable amount of gameplay, again, especially considering you were paying, you know, $40 for Lost Legacy. That was an 8-hour campaign. Miles Morales, take that for what you will. But yeah, and Sony patent also suggesting improved PS5 tournaments. That's going to wrap up this one. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.